What's up, Fomo fam? Welcome back to the channel. Happy Friday. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, feel free to do so. I'm giving you this crypto content every single day. And today I would like to show you the six best altcoins to trade in October. And it's not about investing this time. This is actually about trading. So getting in, take your money, get out, wait for it to get low again, put your money in because, and I'm still very sick, sorry. But it's a bear market, right? And eventually the money to invest, it runs out. And not everybody has more money to invest, but we can make more money to invest. And I got such a powerful tool that I've been talking about for so long. And I'm now really going to show it to you how I'm going to use this on the lower time frames as well. By the way, if you don't want to take, it's not advice, but if you feel like, who are you to listen to? I started this trading challenge, for example, on Fairdesk. If you want to join, links in the description of the video. I started with $170 right there. And I'm now sitting at this in a month, right? That's excluding this $170 bonus. So it's around $870. But I 5 times my money in a month, right? I had this night, I had a great long on Solana, for example. Maybe a lot of money. After that, when Bitcoin was, at 19,800, I felt like, okay, maybe it's time to short that. And that was pretty much at the high for so far, at least. So at 90,580, I felt like, okay, man, whatever, close it, take my profits, $25. I can do some groceries again. It's all good, right? So trading can make you a lot of money. And when things are looking like they are really going to bottom, then you can deploy that money, make great investments. And in the next bull run, you can actually make 20, 30, 40, 50x's with low risk coins because everything is getting so low and the bull run will come again. However, for long-term investments, I think we are in kind of trouble. Sunday, I'm dropping a video about that. Go watch that video because this could wreck you. So just, keep the information that I take it in consideration, what I say right there. So I want to show you 6 altcoins which are best to trade. And first thing, by the way, QANT is going. This thing feels like what bear market? Like, what the fuck? It's incredible. It has a beautiful cup and handle. If you look at the daily, well, also on the weekly, by the way, but this cup and handle right here, incredible. It's shot up. And now it's facing some very big resistance. So if you want to buy QANT, I'm not buying right now. Maybe, it goes a lot higher, but I'm not buying right now. I'm personally waiting for it to get, back to $130, $140, give or take. Then I'm definitely interested in maybe scalping up some QANT. So, yeah, that's it. But I want to show you something. On this channel, I've been preaching a lot about the stochastic RSI. Stochastic RSI is a perfect tool. And I've been saying on the weekly chart, in my videos, I make them a lot like, when am I buying altcoins? What altcoins am I buying? But especially when am I buying these altcoins? Well, not when I see something like this. When the stochastic RSI on the weekly is that overbought, I'm not touching it. I'm not touching it. If I would have some QANT right now, I would dump it so hard, right? Let's take just Bitcoin as an example, right? Very, very, very simple. I showed you this a lot of times, but we're going to apply this to some shorter time frames. And I'm going to give you 6 coins that I feel like, okay, this might be really interesting now to trade, right? But if you apply this on Bitcoin, look, every time it's high, right here was the stochastic RSI was completely overbought. Look where the price was on the weekly, right? If you would have sold it when it was low, right here, would have been a perfect move. If you would have sold it, if you would have sold it here and until it was, at the lows again, would have been a perfect move. If you would have bought it again when it was low and you ride it up till it's oversold, look, I mean, this is saving 50% of your money, putting that extra money in a pump again that goes up 50%, then sell it, right? Because it's overbought. So then sell it and going down again. It goes down 60%, but you have way more money than you have before. So you buy it in again, right? And this doesn't look like a lot, but still 44% move, right? Now it's quite high again. It's not completely overbought, but on the longer time frame, I want this to reset, right? But now we're going to take a look at the shorter time frames. I've been talking about this for so long. And I came across this video, and you have to check this out. It's a couple of minutes that I want to show you right here, but Shelden explains it so very perfectly. And what he's about to say here is really, I don't think there are like hacks and cheats in crypto. But if there are, then this is one. And we are going to apply that. So I'm going to give you the best altcoins to actually apply this strategy so that we can really make a lot of money in this bear market. So we have money to invest in the bear market for when the bull market comes. Check this out.
Yeah, quick. So the first one I want to show you is actually the weekly chart and the stochastic RSI. Simple, very simple. Now, what's important here is it's got nothing to do about picking the bottom right or picking the top. It's got nothing to do with that. Do you want a strategy that doesn't matter what market you're in, you're consistent? Is that, like, let me show you the power of consistency here. So what I've drawn up for you, and I'm giving you guys the template as well. I'll bring you the template up here. Use this template, print it on your damn board. I don't care who you listen to every day. If you follow a system like this, you're going to do well in the markets. Very simple. Yeah. When the RSIs are 0 to 15%, write it down. Stochastic RSI 0 to 15%, you deploy. I'm using Bitcoin only as example, not even altcoins. Bitcoin, let's say only Bitcoin, okay? Through that time, you deploy. As soon as we enter the zone, you get ready to deploy. And as soon as you see this cross, you see these two lines, the orange and the blue. As soon as they cross is the deploy point, and you.
That's what I've not been talking about. But I didn't know about that. But I checked that out, and actually, yes, whenever these lines cross, that's a very important point, because you might be at the bottom of the stochastic RSI or the top, but it could go sideways there for a long while. And in the same time, Bitcoin or whatever could go very much down or very much up. When they cross, it's usually a big turnover point that it goes in the other direction. So you'll have the best possible timing you could get. So that's really a cheat code. And also what he says, it's actually true. The between 0 and 15%, really write that down, actually. On the other time frames, it works a little different. But this is on the weekly, right? This is more for investing. We are going to take a look at, can we make money in the meantime? Because we can go over the weekly over and over again. But the bear market won't last forever. And in the meantime, we do need some money. So let's make that together. Check this out. This is really interesting.
You wait. Now, where that would have been at the time, at then, was a $4,000 Bitcoin, right? After that, we rallied up. We went to $7,000. And the RSI on the top, between 80 and 100%, you wait for the cross. The cross happened there, okay? But as soon as it enters the zone over here, you start getting ready to get out. And as soon as you get the cross, you get out of the market. Okay, now I want to show you the powerful thing.
Yeah, and actually it's right, because you see here the chart. Here's where it crossed. So you could have got, or here's where it, got overbought. So you could have got out here. But if you actually waited for that cross, you would have got out a lot higher. So
if you did that, you want to see not a strategy that gets the tops and bottoms. You actually want to be out before the FOMO's in, and you want to be in like right before the crazy panic, so that you don't have to go through those emotions. But look at this. So what this would have done is it would have got you out here. The market still went. It went another 100% from there. You never gave a shit, because the only time you ever buy is when we are to oversold and across. Very simple. So you would have got out over there. You would have made 72% on your Bitcoin. Perfect. You would have got out, then you would have had to be patient as shit for a few weeks. Then you would have bought again when your RSI came in here and we crossed. As soon as you crossed, you would have entered. RSI would have went up. You would have got ready when it got back in there. As soon as it crossed, you would have got out. You would have made another 38%. Okay, great. You would have done that again. And basically, every time you would have done it, it basically shows you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and currently in your 7th trade over the last 4 years. So you only would have traded 4 times. Investors, do you want the most powerful strategy you want in this market? This is a dollar strategy, by the way. You want to make money. You want to make dollars. You don't care about anything else. You want to make dollars. Fantastic. Now, 4 years, okay? Now, what that would have resulted.
Well, fast forward to the smaller time frames because that's quite interesting. What I would recommend is, and that's again not financial advice, but what I'm currently doing and what you could consider to do is, check this out by the way, but it is, if you have your crypto portfolio, put a little part aside, 10%, 5%, I don't know, and just say, okay, this is what I'm going to do this with. What I'm currently doing is I'm doing this on the 4-hour chart. So that's this one, 4-hour trader. And I'm doing this on the 12-hour chart. For the weekly chart, it's more like investing. I'm not really considered that trading, right? When are you a trader? Like if you buy Bitcoin and sells at some point you're trading. So I'm doing this on the 4-hour. And I'm doing this on the 12-hour. On the 4-hour, I'm also doing one of these on leverage. Why? Well, it goes a lot faster, right? I'm doing the 12-hour. I start with $500 and I'm doing that on leverage, but on a 2x leverage because you don't want to get liquidated, but it's going quite fast. So don't ever do this more than with a 5x leverage, because if you at a certain point buy the oversold territory, but it goes down even more, yeah, then you could get liquidated, right? And at the end of the day, you'll get back to the point where you want to be. But you don't want to lose anything in the meantime. And I'm doing this on the 4-hour as well with $1,000. And that's just buying, selling, no leverage, nothing, right?
At that point, okay? $2,000. And you held it. 6,500.
Oh yeah, and what he showed in this, right? If you did this with $1,000, then after your 6th trade, you would have had $35,000. This really works, and like you have to pick the exact bottom and top to have that money, so it would be less, but you make so much more. And on the 4 hours as well, right? I mean, these are a couple of trades, but in 1 month you gain 20% on your portfolio. If you gain 20% on your portfolio every month, so you start with $1,000, whatever, you get 20%, you have $1,200. A month later, you get another 20%. It's 200, and my math like now is not working, $240, right? So you have $1,640. If you get 20% on that, that's compounding. You would have so much money in a year. You have way more than this or this, right? Apply it. Really, just apply it. Try with a little part of your money. And if you'll notice that it works, you can also go with more and more and more. And the nice thing is that if you use this tactic right here, you have no emotions because you're literally looking at some lines and based purely on that, you decide. For the rest, you leave your emotions out of it. So I'm going to give you these 6 coins that to do it with, but wait a little second.
Nothing else than that. Let's take it a step. Let's take 12. Now, this is for the guy that's working. The guy that's working every day, but he still wants to trade on the side. Fantastic. You do the 12-hour. The only difference you do is on the selling, it's 90 to 100. On the buying, it's 0 to 10.
Write that down. That is important because if it's higher than that, it usually doesn't work that great. It doesn't work that great, right? You can also choose to do this on the 4-hour chart. Let me see. Here we go.
Now, short time frame. The guys that have time in the day. The guys that have time to trade in the week. Here's yours over here. And here's a small example. The last month of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is down 4% to 5%. Okay? You would have used the cross, the cross. Same thing, same strategy. You would have ended up taking 1, 2, 3, 4, and you'd be on your 5th trade right now. You'd be in a trade because we just came out of these areas over here. You would have taken 4 trades. Not crazy, but a market that is down. You would be up 20% now. 20% now.
Right. So, indeed, market down 4%. You gain 20%. That's better than investing and just waiting, right? Because you want to make money in the meantime. So, I want to give you 6 coins that we can do this with. All right, so let me pull up my trading view and let me show you which coins I think are best. And I just looked at some altcoins right here to see how the stochastic RSI moves, and also what are good quality altcoins in case, you know, your trade goes the wrong direction. You don't want to panic sell or whatever, because you know it's good quality stuff, right? It won't die in the meantime, and you don't mind holding it for a longer while. To give you a very good example, if you are risky, by the way, and you want to do this stuff on leverage, you can make some decent money out of that. For example, Uniswap. Let me show you Uniswap. And of course, yesterday we had a crazy week because of the CPI data, so that was pretty unusual, right? Every altcoin chart looks like this. But still, that cross happened exactly then. So if you would have applied this yesterday, right? And it's now a little late for that, but this kind of stuff will happen again. But if you would have applied this yesterday, and let's say you bought the bottom, right? We up around 20% now already, right? And it's not even at the top yet, right? If it's at the top, you know, maybe it's here 25%, maybe it's here, maybe it's here way higher, I don't know, 40%, but you are already up 20%. That's crazy. That's really crazy. Imagine if you do this on leverage, right? Let's say you put in a 2x leverage. That's kind of safe. You probably won't get liquidated. Like if you do a 10x leverage, at the end, you will get liquidated at some point. But let's say you did a 2x leverage. You would have gained 40%. And you're not even there yet on one single trade. That's sick. It's crazy. So let me go to the first one. And this is the first one. Near USD. Near USD. I'm looking at altcoins that just had to cross or are about to have to cross, but are still far in their overbought or oversold territory. Because there's a pretty good chance that you'll make money off of this. Also, if I look at the near chart right here, right? If you zoom out a little bit, where could it go? Well, it could go like at least around, you know, here, somewhere like that, right? So if we go there from here, then what is it? 20% gain, right? 20% one trade, right? So that's pretty nice. So near is the first one that you can do this with. Again, I'm doing it mainly with Bitcoin. But altcoins tend to move like more crazy, right? So it's every altcoin is more high risk, high reward when it comes to that. You could just do this with Bitcoin. That's fine, right? So this is on the daily, right? This is on the daily. So that's a slightly higher time frame. We can also check out, you know, the 12 hour. Okay, 12 hour already getting there. So I would not do this for the 12 hour. So if you do this for the daily, you just have to be a little more patient, right? Because when it came down, when it was all the way up and when it came all the way down, that's a difference of 8 days, right? So if you want to take this trade, this is a trade for a week, give or take, right? So this means that if you take this trade now, you could have, you know, losses tomorrow, the day after tomorrow. But this applies for, you know, somewhere next week. And it should be around here. You make some decent money. You could also look at the 4-hour chart, and there it's very high. So shorter term, and let's take a look right here. It, you know, crossing. So shorter term, it might be that it comes down again. All right, so keep that in consideration. Next one is this one. Here we go. Here we go. I'm taking these examples on the daily chart, right? These are the daily charts. Also, looks like this. Just had to cross, looking very good. And it's not that every chart looks like that, right? Kusama, for example, you know, not in the oversold territory. Injective protocol, not there yet. Chainlink, oh, Chainlink is there, by the way, nice. Matic, not, you know, whatever. Joe. Looking very, very, very good. Looks like this might be a trade. And, you know, we should have got this one right here, right? That was the trade. But, whatever. Joe still looks like it has a lot of upside to go. Where might it go? I think it's pretty realistic to expect something around 23 cents. You know, from this point, that's 12% gain. Nice. On one single trade. Sell it, buy it, sell it, buy it, sell it, buy it. Compounding, right? We look at the 4 hour. I wouldn't touch that at the moment. Unless you have some, Joe, you might want to consider selling some. And the 12 hour, let's take a look at the 12 hour. 12 hour might be a little too late to catch that trade. You would have caught it here, right? Basically here. Best place would have been here, but you know who expected that. But yeah, here. But we are basically where, you know, we are now where we were when the cross happened. And that's the same level. So it might not be too late to take the trade on Joe. All right. Then render. Render is on KuCoin if you are interested in that. On the 12 hour also kind of took off already. But on the daily, it's about to cross, right? So keep your eyes on this. Don't take this trade yet. Well, don't take this trade yet. It looks like a very good trade to me. But if you really want to wait for that cross, it should be tomorrow. Tomorrow, if you look, it probably already happened. So yeah, it could happen anytime now. So on the daily render, looks like a very good trade. And it could easily go back to around 45 cents. And if it breaks that, even 50 cents, that's not a bad trade if it goes to 50 cents. That's a 24% gain, right? And if we take a look at render on the 4 hour chart, I wouldn't touch it yet. I wouldn't touch it yet because it just came, to the downside. So, yeah. There might be some downside for render still, and it could go down even more. That's it is positive because it might go down like I don't know to 98 cents, give or take. Yeah, 98 cents. I think that's reasonable. But if it first goes to 98 cents. And you buy it right there, right? And then it goes to 50 cents. They have 20% gain, right? So there is even maybe a better entry point for render. Next one. It's on my high risk portfolio, ZCX. Really this one did some crazy stuff. This one really did some crazy stuff. It came from 3 cents, give or take 3-4 cents, had a rampage in a couple of days to 25 cents. And that's a 7x. Like, what the hell? And came all the way down to around 8 cents. My average cost is, I think, around 9 cents, something like that. But when it comes to trading, 4 hour, wait, don't do anything yet. If you look at the 12 hours, so if you are waiting to keep your trade open a little longer, hell yeah, perfect trade because it just crossed and now pointing to the upside. So this looks like it might be a very good time to already get into it. You know, you could have got it here, by the way. Big difference. But still, I think a lot of upside. If we look at the daily, it's still coming down. So don't hold it for too long. But I think 12 hour, bottom, top. Yeah. I think holding this open for another few days, beginning next week, might be a good one. Falcon Forged. And these are all quality projects, by the way. So, you know, it's all good. No matter what happens, right? These will all eventually get above where they are right now. Falcon Forge looks like a pretty decent trade to me as well. Falcon Forge is ranging right here on the daily or on the 12 hour. It looks like it just crossed and it's pointing to the upside. So that's looking pretty interesting. You might have already missed this though. If we look at the daily chart, it just crossed, however, and it's now pointing to the upside. It wasn't completely oversold, but then again, it was somewhere in that area. And if we look at the 4 hour chart for Falcon Forge, I would say it's now crossing. So if you have some short term, sell some. If you want to have some for the long term, maybe buy some. So what I expect for Falcon Forge, it sounds very like double, right? What I expect for Falcon Forge is basically first this to reset, right? Which could mean in price that it does something like this. Deploy here, then you know, it might go back up again, and that's a very decent move. This is a very decent move if you buy it around, well, I think where the support is, and you go up 28% move. So yeah, very nice. Another one that I just wanted to show you, S-Fund, really interesting. If you look at the daily chart, also just crossed. I think S-Fund has a lot of upside to go. So now you get it really cheap. And if you trade this on the daily, you know, it's very interesting, this one, because you'll see that it's sitting at some big, you know, support. We had some stuff going on here. We had stuff going on here. If you look at where we are right now, we had a lot of support here. We had a lot of support here. We had some resistance here as well, by the way. This diagonal is also a very big important line, right? So it might come there but get rejected. I think in the you know, at the end of the day, I think it might be possible for CeFi to go back to 150. But if that happens, and the indicator shows at the bottom, the real bottom, yeah, then it's deploying time, and then it could do amazing things. Because if you buy it here and it goes back to this level where it has now, you know, resistance, 30% move. But if it breaks and it goes all the way here, 60% move. You can make a really decent, nice move out of it. So that's kind of it for now. Bitcoin, thank you very much. You've been nice to everybody yesterday, except to the people that were shorting. But, you know, don't short the big events. That's just like, you know, I was longing, also stupid. You don't want to go margin on big events. It's just very risky, right? But it's showing us some strength. Like I said at the beginning of this channel, but also later on, every time, and that's just what I like, man. Every time we are in this area right here at that $18,500 area, you look at the volume, and that's so funny, right? If you look at the volume, we don't have a lot of volume, right? We don't have a lot of volume. But every time we get there, a lot of volume kicks in, right? We go up, not a lot of volume. But every time we get, you know, near this lower area, the buying volume kicks in again. Here as well, we were sitting so low, buying volume kicks in again. It's like bears do. It's not easy for the bears, man. So we'll see which direction is going to win. We'll be real, you know, the bulls, you know, it broke out to the upside of this very important diagonal line, what I've been, you know, stalking you about. And it's still there. It looked like we are going to get, you know, fucked, but we're still here. And that's good to see. I hope this video was useful to you. If it was, like it. Push it into YouTube's algorithm, really would help me a lot. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. If you want to trade, go to Fairdesk. Really good platform. You get cool bonuses. You get a VIP level. It has a really nice interface. And as you see, I'm doing really well right here. I'm doing really well. If you look at my total profit loss, you know, I take some losses every now and then, but that's only to prevent bigger losses. And I take way much more gains. And yeah, it's just going great. For now, thank you for watching, guys. And I'll see you tomorrow.